In this video, I'm going to be putting my off-meta builds on a tier list. The key metrics that I will be ranking them on are obviously how fun they are to play, how easy they are to get online and to pull off, and of course the most important metric out of all of them, how many reports you are going to get after the game. Combining these three will give us an accurate ranking on the tier list. Let's begin. 1. Auto Caitlyn. Why bother with high cortisol assassins when you can just abuse the most broken stat in the game? Range. We're looking for the ultimate no counterplay build, where the hardest combo you have to execute is a single right click. By stacking hubris and building critality, we aren't playing for DPS, we're playing for that one-shot headshot. The theory is simple: charge your passive on a minion, hide in the fog of war like a true assassin, and delete someone from 2 screens away. 8 out of 10 on the fun scale, purely for the dopamine hit you get when you make a 90% health and above enemy disappear with one click. For pulling it off, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. It is incredibly high maintenance. You need to have 5 or even 6 items complete, your hubris passive active, a pre-charged headshot, and a target with absolutely zero armor. If any of those things are missing, you probably won't be able to pull off the complete one-shot. Lastly, a 9 out of 10 on avoiding reports. Since you're still technically an ADC building damage items, your team usually won't realize that your DPS has lost some points. Overall, ATR. Sorcerer choose Warwick. While the meta slaves treat him as a standard bruiser who just runs people down, they are missing the paradox inside his abilities tooltips. They might scale with attack damage, but they deal magic damage. We're exploiting this by buying the only item with just magic pen, Sorcerer shoes, and the most AD we can buy. The goal is to maximize infinite duress damage. If you have a movement speed buffing support on your team, the ults automatically get more fun, but that's out of your control, so it doesn't really count. You're just bruiser Warwick with a sprinkle of a burst mage. 6 out of 10 on the fun scale. For pulling it off, it's a 4 out of 10. All your items are expensive, and to get the maximum value for the combo out of Overlord's Bloodmail and Last Stand, you have to edge your own health bar before going in. 1 CC chain before you are able to cast ult, and you are just an expensive rag for the rest of the teamfight. Lastly, a 7 out of 10 on avoiding reports. Since you are building normal looking items like Titanic Hydra and Sterax, you can try to hide the weird looking shoes under your normal items in hope of your teammates not noticing the spice in your build. Overall, C tier. If you are enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, no pressure though. Impostor Minion Neeko. This is the ultimate low profile build where we transform into a cannon minion to sneak behind enemy lines. Since Neeko copies the minion's base attack speed and it can't be modified by items, we ignore all attack speed and go full mathematically correct raw damage. 9 out of 10 on the fun scale, mostly for the psychological damage you deal when the enemy mid laner realizes they just got solo killed by a stray minion. For pulling it off, I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. Reaching your 3 and 4 item spike is very difficult and the build is incredibly flawed. If you try to dodge a single spell or kite, your movement gives you away immediately. Plus, half the items in the game have visual effects that will reveal your disguise to any player who isn't playing with their monitor turned off. Lastly is a 1 out of 10 on avoiding reports. Treat Neeko is homeless in regard to which lanes he can go to, and I literally had to put a disclaimer in the video telling people not to play this in ranked unless they want their account banned for inting. Overall, D tier. Lethal Tempo Samira. Probably my most original build with some actual thought behind it. Turning our focus to Samira's underutilized attack speed from her E that scales insanely well with levels. By slightly tweaking the build in the runes, you now have the maximum single target DPS possible. Just remember to never ult before reaching 3 items or when you are in a 1v1 situation. So, my very non-biased opinion on this champion, the build is very fun to play, especially when you wipe enemy teams by getting resets but never ulting, leaving them very confused in the grey screen. Same goes for engaging from a range and just killing them with auto attacks, while the enemies are waiting for some sort of combo before their health bar disappears. 9 out of 10 on the fun scale. I would also say that it is pretty easy to get going. You can start maxing your E from the get-go and you can get your 2 attack speed items early on, and even better if you manage to snowball through Samira's early game strength. For pulling it off, it's an 8 out of 10, since you still need to scale as an ADC. If you avoid early deaths and falling behind, most of your teammates won't even notice the difference. 8 out of 10 on avoiding reports. It actually has some unique strengths that the meta build lacks and can be the superior option out of the two in specific matchups. Overall, S tier. Strongest clone Shaco. While most people use Shaco's clone as a distraction to dodge a hook or escape, we're using a sneaky mechanic where the clone keeps the Hell of Blades attack speed for its entire duration. By building full crit, your clone ends up having more DPS than you, effectively giving your team a 6 champion, 8 out of 10 on the fun scale, because of the pure confusion it causes when the fake Shaco starts reading the enemy backline faster than the real one. It's a 9 out of 10 on pulling it off, since you just need to press R while your Hell of Blades is active to lock in the attacks. Because the build and runes actually look recommended and viable, you get a 10 out of 10 on avoiding report. Your teammates will just think that they have a normal AD Shaco on their team. Overall S tier.